It's a battle as old as time itself. The deadly Cobra versus the Mongoose. Who will win? Watch and find out.
Shave it up!
Hey everybody, Clean Shaver here. I got a product comparison video for you. It's a showdown between the Cobra Classic and the Mongoose. I've been waiting a long time to try these razors out, and it actually stems from a little while back I did a 5 things that I want in my shave den video, and a buddy of mine, Chris Coyle, was nice enough to say, hey, I've got a Mongoose, I'm not really using it much, would you like to try it out? And so he sent it down to me all the way from Canada. Great guy, and was willing to let me try it out. I unfortunately will be handing this off to Redbeard, who will probably end up breaking it, if not just manhandling it, then breaking it with his face. But, you know, anyway. So I'll send it off to him after I'm done with this, but I'm excited to try both these razors out. I've heard a lot about them, and very excited to try them. My friend Jeff Anderson was good enough to send me his Cobra, and let me give that a shot too. So I'm going to go ahead and do just kind of my thoughts on both. I've done about 3 shaves with each, same blades in them, essentially the same products, doing kind of a side-by-side comparison on them. I'll give you the rundown. So in this corner, we have the Mongoose. Let's do some pros and cons. Pros first. Pro is that it is easier to load than the Cobra. Because it's just 2 plates, it was pretty easy to load, pretty straightforward, not really that hard to do. It's also cheaper at $149, where I was able to find it. It is a bit cheaper than the Cobra. It's exact, it's sharper looking. I like that, the streamlined look of it. I do like that, I can appreciate it. And it is heavier, although that is a pro and a con to me. It is heavier, it weighs in at about 139 grams, and so if you're looking for a heavier razor, maybe that's what you're looking for. To me, heft is not as big of a deal. In fact, too much throws me off, and it's... I found during some of my shaves, especially head shaves, felt like I was getting a workout with this. Instead, I'm trying to shave, not go to the gym. So that's kind of what I felt like. The handle is also very long, means decreased maneuverability. So that was not as big of a thing for me. Feels, even though the blade width is exactly the same, it feels bigger, it feels wider, and I didn't really care for that. The angle was also just a little bit tricky for me to figure out. I did get it dialed in, but it took me a little longer. It wasn't as intuitive to me. So that's my pros and cons for the Mongoose. Now for the Cobra. So pros and cons for this. Pros, it's lighter. This weighs about 100 grams with the blade in it. You can definitely tell. It doesn't feel nearly as heavy as the Mongoose. It is more ergonomically designed. You can see the bottom there. It's got the groove lines for your fingers. It's a little more grippy compared to the smoothness of the handle on the Mongoose. This is a lot more easy to grasp, and it's also a shorter handle on it, so it feels a bit easier to maneuver. Felt a bit actually more intuitive to me when I was using it. It felt almost like my Schick injector, where it was just very easy to, you know, I didn't have to work to find the angle, it just went, and it was great. And it's shinier, it's sexier. I like the look of it. I mean, that just looks like a bad A razor when you use it. Putting that in a shave of the day pick, it just looks cool, you know? Call me shallow, it matters to me. So anyway, cons. Cost. This is $199. 50 bucks is a big difference when the performance of the razor is about equal. So that's a big deal. It was also a bit more difficult for me to load it. Now I may just be admitting my own idiocy here, but so the way it opens, you have this little lever that you slide out. Oh, that was not planned. Let's see if I can load it easier this time. So how it works, you have this little door that comes out from the underneath, right? And because I've done this once before, I'm able to load it a little easier, but I don't know how you can see it. You have these little blade rests in the corners here, like a Schick injector does, which is not necessarily a bad design, but it's hard for me to get it in there without feeling like I'm gonna damage the blade. Oh, well, I just got it in there. Nice and easy. And then it goes back in like that. And so it's just a little hard, a little more cumbersome to load. So I didn't like that. The blade gap also feels a bit more aggressive to me, which I tend to lean toward more mild razors. And I'll talk about the efficiency in just a second. But so those are my pros and cons. Let's go ahead and run down the points. On either side, we have, so first category, I do it in 4 categories. We have design, efficiency, price, and cool factor. So we'll work that in. Why are my fingers all messy? I don't know. Better than having blood on them, I guess. So for the Cobra, design, I give this a 9. It is just a cool looking razor. It is well thought out. The only problem is that blade loading. It's not as easy, not as intuitive as I would like, but the overall look of the razor really just overwhelms that aspect of it. I could get used to that because it's such a good looking razor. I really, really like the look of this. Now for the Mongoose, I give this an 8. It is also a very good looking razor, very shiny, very polished, very neat and tidy looking. But as for the design, you mix into that ease of use and ergonomics and whatnot, I do have to give the edge to the Cobra. So Cobra 9, Mongoose 8. Efficiency. Now, this is where the Mongoose beats out the Cobra just a little bit. I said in one of my posts about the Mongoose that I don't know how it's possible for it to be aggressively mild, but it is. It is so efficient that it's almost like the Chuck Norris of razors. It, instead of cutting all the hairs, it just talks them into giving up. It's really, really efficient. The Cobra is also very efficient, but that blade gap is just a little bit bigger there. I don't know if you can see that very well. That blade gap is different. And so this is just a little bit more aggressive. It wasn't my kind of thing. I did prefer the blade angle and gap on the Mongoose a little bit. So I'll give the edge to that. Cobra, 8.5, because I do like it. But then the Mongoose is just that much more efficient. I'm giving it a 9. Okay, price. Cobra goes for $199. And because I feel it's a little better designed, I'm okay with that price point. I'm going to go ahead and give that an 8. Not fantastic, but good enough. I'm okay with that. The Mongoose is $149. I'm also giving it an 8 because I feel that's about the right place for it price-wise. I think because of the simplicity of the design and because of, again, because of those little factors that worked into this having a slightly lower design score for me, I still think that that's about an 8 for me. It's not a perfect price point, but it's pretty dang good. Now, cool factor. For me, the one that I would rather have in my Shave of the Day pictures. It's the Cobra. It's the Cobra. I really like it. Don't get me wrong, I like the Mongoose, and people are probably going to want to burn me at the stake for this, but you know, I give the edge to the Cobra. The Cobra, I give it a 9 for cool factor because it's just, I mean, it's one solid piece almost, and I really like that look. That feel to it is really cool to me. A lot of thought went into design on this, and I mean, when my wife looked at it, it was no contest. It was just, yeah, she wanted Cobra because it was, maybe it's because it's shiny or she likes shiny things. I don't know. So Cobra gets a 9, Mongoose gets an 8. So if we run those cumulatives, Cobra for design, 9. Efficiency, 8.5. Price, 8. Cool factor, 9. So that brings it to a score of 36.5. Pretty darn good. Mongoose, design gets an 8. Efficiency gets a 9. Price, also an 8. Cool factor, also an 8. So that brings its score to 33. 36.5, 33. So the Cobra wins. I'm probably going to get crap in my mail now because I know a lot of people really, really like the Mongoose. Your mileage may vary. I'm going to put that out there. This is a very good razor. I do like it. Do not get me wrong. This is a nice razor. I do like it. If I'm comparing them side by side though, I have to give the edge to the Cobra. I just like it that much more. So that is my review. If you have any questions or comments about the razors, put them in the comment section below. I'll go ahead and put a link to where I can find that you can buy the razors in the description section. But if you have any comments, questions, concerns, rebuttals, please don't put any hate mail in my comments. But I'm open to discussion about that and let you know my thoughts about it. That's my job as a reviewer. So I do like both of these razors. but Cobra wins for me. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and share this video. If you're talking to people about the differences between the two razors, make sure to share. Appreciate you watching. Be smooth. We'll see you next time.